Okay. Alright. Well, it is axle bearing time. And I need to find my axle bearing kit. Axle bearing kit. Now I'll get the worst axle first. Okay. So, the kit. What the? Probably not a very good idea right there. Okay, so this thing out. Forward 9-inch plate. It's helpful to kind of get it to spread for you. Let's see how we can get there. I grab a block and put underneath there. Had some corrosion on her. Just felt very barren-y. Barren-esque. Anyway, what I will do is size this up with the new one. Here's my new one and the keeper. Grab the other axle. Handy tool, doesn't get used a lot, but it's pretty nice to have it when you need it. So probably go up one. All right. tweaked my bolts a little bit so they're I don't have enough space for my steel blocks. They're kind of bent up. Well, I had them in the exact opposite direction, so it was making the space tighter, and it was not helping any. I take them both off at the same time, so I'm not raising and lowering this platform. Put them on, because when I put the bearings on, flips around and the hub will be up. It should have popped by now. Should have popped. Go straighten this plate, and we'll try to see if we get a bite on it. Sometimes cold chiseling that keeper ring will stretch it enough to get it to do something, but that one is not. Alright, I unpaused it, so you reset. Well, that one was less dramatic. It must have been cold chiseling that ring to let her pop. There we go. I'm used to the big old ba-dang. So she took a little cut, but got her off. That was the outer ring that popped on it. I've never seen, had quite a few apart. I've had a few bad ones apart, but these weren't even there. Well, this is a stamped. Looks like it's, yeah, it is a stamp. There's a stamping. Stamped and bent. Usually are a solid ring, like those. A solid donut. All right. Well, I'm gonna pause it again. I'm gonna go clean them up, and we'll pop them back on. All right. You can still hear me. What I've done is clean the axle up, and then also now I am making some flange gaskets. Got the axle flange here, cleaned it up, used it for a template to make the gaskets. I have a hole puncher. gasket. It was packing material. Stuff usually about the cereal box thickness. What I'm using, which I do use cereal box. Dad showed me the old cereal box stuff. Plus, we were working out here in Florida one time. Parts house wasn't necessarily that accessible. You couldn't be running to town all the time, or ordering stuff that the gaskets and stuff all the time weren't necessarily in. But so we'd make our own. Take this piece of paper, and then you can, you're really concerned about it, you just take a thin layer of the RTV, hit both sides of it, and call it gasket premium. Insert name. How about roto garage gasket? How about that? But it also got, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't even do that. They'd hit this with some RTV and slap her on. And you could. However, the guys I learned from like to have gaskets where gaskets belong. We're man and Chuck French. Where I got some of my motor skills from, I guess. Good guy. Had probably one of the nicest looking original Super Bees I've ever seen, and extremely low mileage. I think when he came down to Florida, maybe 30,000 or something, maybe lower than that. But she was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so got this, and so what I'll do now with this is kind of a setup, get everything arranged. So I don't forget anything. I can also clean this up. So you want any color discoloration or corrosion from there, not there. That ring would go on. Put one of these on. I'll put the high temp side towards the axle. There we go. And I'll be right back. So they were telling me that these O-ring type bearings go towards the bearing, or the O-ring goes outwards towards the wheel. I guess it's just another form of sealing her off. Yeah. Now you got to watch this too, because you go like tightening that on there super tight. Well, this shaft as it goes expands. So you don't want to jam her up. You do want to make sure you got everybody on there. All right. I think everybody's there. Present and accounted for. So, and then this will get pressed on like this. All right. Okay. I seen a guy was talking about. There's a good mention about make sure this doesn't get stuck in here. So we'll watch that as we go. See if we're tight here. Now I could put a block in there too, I guess. Because she'll go on fairly. We cleaned it, there's some light grease in there. Well, that's not enough room. Never mind. I don't know if I could go one more or not. Seems like I probably can. I think doing these before, it's like right there. Nope. All right. Could put a big honking socket on it, I guess. Well, let's see where we get. I had my air thing going. Alright. Need to go get a honk socket. Another purpose of gator sockets. Right there. Could have been a little fatter, maybe. We'll see how that goes. Make sure that's lifted up. Make sure we get the kiss. I think that's it. One more. All right. Go on is a little less exciting, I guess. Plus you don't have to move this around as much too for the axles. Did I get everybody? I think so. Alright, we're rolling again. I don't know how long it's going to keep going, but anyway, you haven't really missed anything. I'm on the next one. I got everybody set. I got the flange cleaned off, the gasket, the axle. Everybody looks pretty good. So now it's just pump her down, get my little bit of press on there going. Got just a little bit of lubricant on the bearing to help make her slip a little bit. Because there's nothing wrong with a little bit of lubricant. I don't care how old you are. It never hurts. Literally, never hurts. Now, whether or want you want, never mind. I won't go into the chemical makeups, but get highly too technical. So let's see how this one goes. So when she stops doing that, that means I've hit my throw and I need to regroup. And in walks gator socket. Lift that up so we can watch her. She just went hard. I'll give it a couple more pumps and we'll back her up. And that looks good. Good, good, good. So King Toad has 2 bearings, some fresh gaskets on the axle plates, and ready to roll. And we're still filming. Awesome. All right. But I think I'm gonna be done for tonight. Come back tomorrow. I'll lay the old girl in here for now, because tomorrow I'm gonna get the big MIG out and I'm gonna put a little zip there with the MIG welder. Now, do I advocate anybody else doing this? Not at all. I remember my dad, old Chucky French, we did it on a couple axles. One of them was that keeper on there that we put on an axle. They weren't confident it was going to stay. So, and that was the only keeper we had at the time. And so they put a little weld on it. There's the big welder over there. I even seen a guy online do the same thing. I don't know. But anyway, I'll come over around here and talk to the camera, get the other axle. But if you're familiar with 9-inch, that's the axle. There's the bearing. All right, here is the keeper ring. And that's just on there by pressing. It's on there pretty tough. But if this thing, through torque or twisting or heat, decides to loosen a little bit, she can come straight off. And even with this thing on here, she'll want to go that way. And if y'all remember, I think it's on my Facebook page. We went to the Hot Wheels thing with the Chevrolet. So I have a 9-inch in it. And we were We did the Hot Wheels show. We got an invitation to go down there and show off the Chevrolet. A lot of people loved it. And on the way back, about 5 miles or so out of the show, my axle decides to come out of the Chevrolet. I mean out. And we were running good too. We were commenting on how the thing was going, and it was just, we were just going to cruise back home. How long it took is how long it was going to take. Well, we didn't realize that our trip back would be in a wrecker and a flatbed. But that's what happened. Well, actually what happened was the inner ring and the axle itself the bearing, the inner race on the bearing exploded. So once the inner race went, it basically pulled the keeper off the axle, because I found the keeper. It was still inside the axle the retention plate, axle plate, inside the rear end. And so what I think happened is that inner race in the bearing shattered. It basically wobbled and pulled the keeper off, and then it shot out of the car, because with the inner race gone, because typically when you have a failure, it's the bearings go. The bearings go and it just starts to get floppy, and I've seen them beat the heck several times of doing them. And it's not a real common occurrence, but when they go, you know. And usually a rear axle bearing on a 9-inch will tell you. I mean, it's going to say something. We had no warning, no nothing. It was basically the tire come out with the axle and it was spinning on the highway like a top, and we're 3 wheels dragging to the side of the road. So I'm going to put a little zip on there, because if that would have stayed, I possibly would have had a little bit more off to the road I could have went. But once the axle come out, we were done. It's an open rear end, so when you lose one axle, you are not going anywhere. You are dead. If it would have been a spool, I possibly could have got us to the side of the road. But we were actually half a lane from the curb on a bridge. And but people were real nice. The cop that came by to help us was really nice. Eventually, when we got the wrecker stuff situated, because they sent us a regular wrecker, a quick hook or whatever they call it, and we told them over the phone we needed a flatbed, and we needed to take us home. And I don't know what happened in the translation. After about 2 hours of waiting for the wrecker to get there, then they come with a quick hook, the quick catch or whatever you want to call it, and not a flatbed, so then we had to wait for a flatbed to come. Meanwhile, we snatched a guy that was coming by, or actually the police officer was there, told us the name of the company, and had the wrecker guy with a flatbed come get us. Super nice dude. He gets us off the road, so now we're not halfway to the highway. But yeah, it was quite a whole lot of waiting. I was more doing fire rescue like I have. I was more concerned about being halfway in the road, people rubbernecking us, and have another accident while we're trying to get off the highway, not to have another accident. So, but yeah, we'll come out here tomorrow. We should be able to get the rear end buttoned up. You'll see some footage on the engine. We basically, that's all been worked out. I think everybody's good. On the timing cover bolts, now it is fully bolted. I don't have to worry about those 2 bolts possibly popping a leak on us or something down the road. when we're hauling to the build off or something, and there we are trying to do water pumps and stuff like that and on the curb. Probably not a water pump, probably just pulling it off, scraping gaskets, resealing it, or trying to drill out bolts and stuff. We just went ahead and did it. I did have another timing cover, but it was as much time it would probably take me to get the other cover off to put on there and then fix whatever was wrong, might be wrong with it. I just went ahead and fixed that one, and she's good to go. High volume aluminum water pump. I think it's going to serve us well with that big 4-core 34 radiator. I think that'll do good. Anyway, remember what I say? Don't do what I do. Go out and do you. Go out in the garage, have fun. Listen to some fun channels on there. Let's see. I usually watch some of Pole Barn Garage. Simon Says Garage. And some of Morsky. I get all around. And I watch some of the Pole Barn Garage, a little bit of Atomic Era. They're entertaining. Oh, and one of our main is Peace and Grease. It's got a couple 460s, nice ones. Nice 460s. So, I'll be signing off. God bless and toad out. Alright, we're going to be putting a small tack on that retaining ring. Alright, well hopefully that's all, she's all buttoned up. Shouldn't be one any problems. What I did was I put just a slight tack on that retaining ring and on the edge of the axle or inside there. But there's a space between the bearing and the axle seal that I don't want, you can't drag it out on there. You gotta be right in the very crack. And that should give me a little peace of mind that the retaining ring for some reason won't back off. If I do shatter the inner race, that I'll have that ring will retain somewhat, at least so maybe I get off the road. But we'll see. So she's ready to go back in. King Toad, I got to do I'm doing the body bead now, and as soon as I get that sealed off, I gotta finish the top, and then we start putting stuff back on her. And the motor's all buttoned up, ready to go. The only thing I got left on it is getting the carb ready and getting it back in. Transmission, I'm going to take a look at it, see how the fluid looks, see how the filter looks. If it looks decent, I'm going to try it. Hopefully I won't be doing any transmission swaps at the last minute, but we'll see. And just getting ready. I would like to be doing a test drive on this thing, or at least even maybe without the fenders or whatever. See if she'll go forward, backwards, and then finish getting everybody else on there and wired and all that stuff. But we'll see. Take it one day at a time and do what we can do. So for Road to Garage, finishing up the rear end. We'll probably have more video later on doing the body stuff. Yeah. So remember what I say? Don't do what I do. You do you. Go out in the garage, have fun. God bless, and toad out.
It looks like you're in, like there's smoke filled in the garage, because I brought the camera straight out from the house, and it is so hot out here. So I don't know when it's gonna clear up. Okay.
Alright, here we are, Road to Garage. I know you've probably got some video of this kind of being in the middle right there. What I'm doing now is we're welding up this body beads here. Doing more of the welding around there. My idea right now is get these beads welded up. Get these back, welded up. Welded up, and so I can then move to the top. I got some more welding there. I got one on the side, one on the top corner, and round and the other. So I got to figure out how I'm going to make those closer. I don't need to necessarily need to be perfect. Certainly would like them a little closer together as far as the round and the top roundness. But that's what we're doing. So get ready to see me do it like that. about it. I'm gonna let it cool. Let that cool off. We got a pretty good tack, like a little leg, about every 1/8 of an inch. And I'll probably let it set from there. I'll let it cool for now, then I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna turn it upside down. I'm gonna do the bottom of the back. And then we'll flip it back around. I think the bead will be pretty much it for now. See where it's stretching. And also, it's all opening up those doors a lot. I still got to take the doors off and do the inners and stuff. I'll do that probably next week or so. I don't need that. Try to get this thing started to come together. I'll finalize doing this stuff. Will all come through later on. I'll take a break, come back out. We'll turn you back on, flip it around, get some shots from the back.